time. We've got a great show talking about women in business. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. Great show. We're talking about women in business. And so first of all, let's welcome our studio audience. Thank you so much for being here. Do you guys enjoy the music? Let's give a round of applause to DJ Brian Youngblood. Brian produced our opening segment for the show, so we want to thank Brian for producing that music, and he's also got a special for us later. We're going to have a fashion segment, but before we move on to that, let's welcome our studio audience, Miss Bonnie Lee Cuevas, who is business consultant, lifestyle consultant, owner of Fitness Fashionistas, Success in Heels, national speaker, motivator, so everything. We're very excited to have her. Chelsea Cooper, Miss Pensacola 2010, who very, very soon in the near future will be running for Miss Florida. Keeping your fingers crossed, we're pulling for you, Chelsea. And then Shannon Erdwins, who's definitely no stranger to Latitude, has been on before, a small business owner with Shannon Productions. What do you do, Shannon? What does Shannon Productions do?
I love to dance, but I will DJ, but I love to dance. So yeah.
We love to dance here in Latitude. Well, thank you, ladies, so much. So we're talking about women in business and how, especially in the time that our economy is right now, that a lot of challenges for business owners, and in the past and over the years of recessions and through the history, we've seen that small business owners have risen to the top and creative ideas. And even now you look around in business and women are running the workforce. Can we give a round of applause for us? Yeah, thank you guys too. You've set a great example for us, but so many, are you finding that that's true?
Yes, there's been a huge increase because of the economy in entrepreneurs. People are finding creative ways to fill a need. Thus, you know, if they have lost their job, they realize that it is now or never. So they've gone ahead and pursued their dreams.
And are you, now Chelsea, you are, one of the things that you do as well is you are a fitness instructor, right? You're certified in fitness. And pageants. Tell us what you do with pageant consulting.
Pageant consulting, I just take young ladies, and unfortunately a lot of the young ladies I do help coach are just, they don't have the confidence level they need. So basically I go in as a mentor, as we talked about in your previous segment, and I just give them the confidence that they may lack. And I let them know that it's all about you. It doesn't matter where you come from, as your background, or financially, anything. You are a gem. So you take that and you go with it.
That's powerful, and confidence is the key. I think you hit the nail on the head. But before we get into that, talking just about businesses, you have a vision, say you have a dream. How do you go from taking a vision and a dream and making that a reality?
Understanding your industry, having a really strong foundation, whether it's taking local classes at a community college, understanding how a business works. Every business succeeds when they have a foundation. Thus, a business plan, it doesn't have to be tons of pages. It can be as simple as one page, but that you know where are your goals, what are your milestones to reach those goals, and definitely getting educated on the market that you want to tap into.
So why did you become a coach?
I became a business coach. I've owned several businesses over the years for about 9 years. I have the amazing, wonderful thing that I have really strong women in my family. I was never told I couldn't do it, so I don't know otherwise.
Yeah, hey, you don't know. You might as well go for it, right?
So, yeah, I thought that, over time I realized that all of my clients were women and that a lot of them needed assistance, or they needed PR, they needed branding, marketing, which is something we all do, but that, again, they didn't know how to head up their business. They didn't know how to be the president of their own company, and thus they were losing profits, and they were not really reaching their customers or their clients. So I came in and I gave them, helped them set the foundation, set the milestones, and how to get started and really just create an empire for themselves.
Ooh, we like to rule the world as women. Let's create our empire. So that's really why we go into business. So the first step is setting those goals,
yes,
and setting that vision. And what did you find, Shannon, when you started Shannon Productions, and your passion, you love to dance?
Yes,
and choreograph.
I teach dance, all styles of dance. But I guess what helped me when I started when I was 4 years old, and like you, I never was told I couldn't do it. But as you progress in the industry, and to be honest with you, sometimes it can be really rough out there, and to never give up. I think that should be life's motto, because really the only people who fail is the ones that just stop, you know. And so to have that, when you get knocked down, you get back up. What does it say? A righteous man falls down 7 times, but he gets back up, you know. I think that has a lot to do with your success. I really do.
And I'm sure you've seen that competing constantly.
Absolutely. It took me 3 years to win Miss Pensacola, so I'm so proud.
Wow, let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
That's a big accomplishment.
You learn something from every time you compete. You learn something about yourself. You learn something that you take from the competition in itself. So you really learn to take that success when you do succeed, and you're so thankful for it, because you did fail basically so many times. So the success is that much better.
So what have been, and this is kind of a question for all of you ladies, what have been some of the challenges that may have made you quit, whether it's business or whether it's competing or starting out?
It's really surprising that one of the reasons I became a business coach and opened up my companies was so that women learn how to support each other. Because me coming into various industries that are so different, with a fitness company and a media boutique, women as well were kind of hard on each other. So I wanted a platform where people can uplift each other, women can uplift each other, encourage each other, and really feel that connection with one another, so that, you know, we have a lot in common. We can totally get through this together.
Yeah.
So that was my challenge, you know, facing other women.
Having that support system.
Yeah.
And how would you advise seeking that support system for, say, a new business owner?
Definitely, you know, start with the people closest to you. Again, I have really strong women in my family. I was raised by my mother, my grandmother, and my aunt. I have really amazing friends that I keep really close. I'm very particular about the people I let in my life, but only because, you know, those that are around me uplift me, and I do the same for them. It's just a really great support system. And sometimes, you know, people surprise you. You'll meet people along the way that are just fantastic, and you know, you just feel so blessed to have them. So thank your lucky stars for them, and learn from them.
Now, you talked about confidence. Talk a little bit about confidence and motivation, how those work hand in hand. And without confidence, we may look like we have it all together, but if we don't,
It comes from within, really. You have to find it within yourself. It may just start small, like, you know, you like your eyes, accentuate them. You love your hair, accentuate it. It's truly understanding that your past has made you who you are today. Embrace it, no matter what happened. And I once heard I once heard a pastor say, "Never be a victim."
That's good.
And don't be a victim.
Yeah.
Be really strong, and sometimes you have to root for yourself, and you are your best cheerleader. And
If I have to look in the mirror.
loving yourself.
Don't be a victim, because right now we've got so much in Pensacola going on that there's so many people out there that are like, what are you going to do? And to just, if you're out there, just listen to what she just said. Don't be a victim. You just got to get back up and shoot for the stars.
You know, I saw the cutest thing on YouTube, and I don't know if I think I'll be okay with saying this, but it's a clip of this little girl. She can't be any older than 2 years old. Have you seen this?
Yes.
And she's standing in front of the mirror, blonde curly hair, and she's pointing to that mirror, and she's saying, "I love my house, and I love my family, and I can do anything, and I can do it." And she just goes on and on, this little 2-year-old. And you think, my gosh. And it's inspiring, but really pointing to yourself and talking to yourself sometimes. So how can you build that trust?
Definitely spending time with them. Whether it's going out to lunch, I sometimes network with local ladies, and we don't go out to lunch often, but I definitely email them, how are you? I try to keep in touch. I really try to get personal and understand them. And building trust takes time. So over time, and you know, being personable and letting people in. And
You mentioned that building bridges. Definitely don't build bridges, and that's a mistake that we can make. Even in competing, I imagine you don't want to.
I've never been the girl that doesn't help anybody out in the back of the dressing room. I've won Miss Congeniality 5 times, and I do pride myself on that because.
Kind of like Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, I love Sandra Bullock. I love her. Great actress.
You trip sometimes too?
I have tripped. I really have. But all you do, you can't lose your confidence.
So we know you're human.
Yeah, I am human, definitely. But I pride myself on winning Miss Congeniality so many times because I know I'm a good person. And some girls, you know, will have problems with their dress backstage, and some young ladies won't help. But then again, there are the handful that will. And I like to say that if you need your best friend backstage, I'll be that girl. So.
And that's just an attitude. I think that's just a quality to carry even over into business. Yeah. And that's a mistake that can be made, is burning bridges. But what are some other mistakes that can be made, even starting off?
Not understanding the business you're going into. So if you're going in to become a designer, what's your market? How many designers at your age? You know, who are you designing for? Is it, you know, younger women, older women? Is it, you know, upper class, middle class? You know, you really need to understand your market, understand who you're up against. If you understand your competitor, then you can definitely thrive off that, learn from it, and be better. You want people to choose you, not your competitor.
That's good. What are some of the things that you've seen? Mistakes?
Well, with mistakes, actually taking things too personally. Sometimes I have a hard time separating business from personal because it's kind of like the Christian faith, or if you've seen the Karate Kid lately, you know, Kung Fu is a way of life. Well, Christianity is a way of life, so it's really hard sometimes. And if you do have a real giving personality, it's really hard out there because they can just stomp you and leave you all in the same breath, and you're just thinking, what just happened, you know?
Wow. And that goes back to protecting yourself.
Yeah.
That's something that you've talked about, protecting your brand. And
I do. It hasn't been easy. You know, it takes me making sure that my corporation is protected, you know, trademarking, copywriting, making sure that, you know, you are protected, because unfortunately there are people out there that want to, you know, they see that you have a really great idea and they want to either take it or they want to.
Then if you have a tendency to give.
Yeah, you know, but there's nothing wrong with that. You are going to see people that have the same company out there or build the same company. But what makes you different? You know, it's the heart you put into your business, and that's what's going to make you stand out.
And even seeing how can I work with? How can I partner with?
I've done that. I barter a lot too, so.
That's good. Talk about that. Your resources.
Yeah, we are again, the economy. We're really creative. I have bartered with several businesses. You know, they have a service that I can use, and I have a service that they can use. For example, there's a media group company out there that I barter with them, and you know, I get free advertising, and they use my services. So,
well, it seems like bartering is coming back, and most of us revert, I think, mentally to our 9th grade history class, pulling up the word from the glossary. So, what would you define bartering as?
It's definitely, you know, again, a service you can use from each other, vice versa, as well as setting things in stone, written. You want to always be protective. A smart business owner protects her assets, and vice versa. You want them to protect themselves as well. So put it all in writing, and definitely setting guidelines. So, you know, if I'm only getting 30 days of advertising, then you're getting 30 days of, you know, public relations. So that way, you know, it's set in stone. You understand what, and put everything in writing, you know, everything. It's set in stone. You both understand what you're going into. So you don't make mistakes, and if you do, you learn from them, and you next one,
that's good.
You don't do it again.
So we're seeing an increase of women in business, and even rising to the top, and gaining more power as they go to rule their empire, as stated earlier. But as we've seen this, let's talk a little bit about how men are different from women. How women differ from men.
They're non-emotional. They can totally separate it, and we're crying behind the corner. Okay,
is that what we're doing? We're crying. Do we stand behind corners and cry? I guess we do.
We are emotional, and I think that's what makes a difference. My husband's a Marine, and he's very much, you know, go-getter, strong. You know, there's no tears ever.
But honey, you don't understand.
I'm very emotional, but we've sort of helped each other because he's sort of given me that suck it up kind of attitude. And I am an emotional person, and it has helped me in business because I'm analyzing the situation. I can go into it really understanding it. And sometimes I'm more sympathetic to a client versus, maybe a male client that may not understand that and be a little bit more sympathetic to their situation.
That's really good. Branding. And that's something that we are going to have a demonstration a little later. If you're watching, please stay tuned. We've got a fabulous fashion segment. But before we do, we're going to talk a little bit about branding and how important that is to business. How do we brand ourselves, whether our personal branding or our business branding?
We are the face behind our company. I mean, I put myself out there. So what you see here,
Lovely.
yeah,
You're original. I mean,
you are.
you
Shannon
are,
Productions is Shannon.
There'll never be another one. It's like I was watching This Is It with Michael Jackson. The man's 50 years old. He got all the hip hop talent, and nobody could move like the man. You know?
Can we try?
I'll do it with you. I mean, I'm okay with that.
You're original.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And you are the face. And understanding that no matter where you go, I've literally, when we lived in North Carolina, people, I would run into people all the time at the grocery store, so I had to make sure I was never in sweats and a t-shirt. And like, you always want to look your best. You never know who you're going to run into, and I know, especially you.
Yeah. I make a name for myself. I mean, I work 2 jobs, and then with Miss Pensacola, hopefully Miss Florida USA in the next 2 weeks, we'll see. And just me in general as a student and as a person, you make contact with different people from different walks of life every day. So it's really how you present yourself and just go with it. You have to be a strong individual, especially in the workforce right now with the way the economy is. And then, like Bonnie said, don't burn your bridges, because if you ever fall back down, you're going to meet those people again. So, and unfortunately, all those individuals, well, not all, but some individuals will try to bring you down because of their own insecurities. They're jealous of what you may have, and they're insecure. So you really can't let those people
What does that
stomp on
do
you.
when you find somebody that does have those insecurities? What have you seen kind of happens?
I'm a nice person. I'm that person that just gives. So even if somebody's rude to me or says negative comments to me, I'll still say, thanks. I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy with what I'm doing. So I try to help them, give them advice as much as I can, but they're only going to take it if they want to. So.
So how do you find that place of confidence? What if somebody is dealing with that insecurity? They say, well, I hear what you're saying, Chelsea and Bonnie and Shannon, but yeah,
Sometimes it's finding a mentor or finding, even therapy can help. I really mean.
Come see me when I'm.
Yeah.
Hey.
Chelsea Cooper. It's really having someone to talk to so that you can get to a point where you feel comfortable enough to start feeling confident in yourself.
Right.
It's moving forward, letting go of everything. We, as women, are emotional. We weigh everything on our shoulders.
and just stop taking things too seriously.
Yeah,
Sometimes we
really
can do
enjoy
that.
life. I thank my blessings every day.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to get there. Just the other day I was like, I remember I had envisioned this house that I wanted and this, everything I wanted, and I got it. I have it. I'm living my dream. It's not, for example, I once partnered with another business coach, and she and I would coach each other. And she said, there are people that want to build huge empires, and that's great. And then there are those that want little smaller empires, and I built my little small one. I'm happy with that. And really being thankful and really getting to a place of faith. Faith, there's 2 different kinds of faith. You can have faith that you believe in God, He exists, and then having faith where without a doubt you never doubt Him. You have confidence, never stressing that He's going to provide for you. And it's just, again, praying and having really great girlfriends that you can go to and say, I'm really having a bad day and I wish, it would be better, and they're there to make you better.
And just being real about where we're at.
And sometimes if you don't have somebody, that you can call, and just sometimes you just need a word of encouragement. I mean, there's been so many times you just open up the word, and man, it just melts and just hits, and you need that confidence built, within. And a lot of those women that are out there that are the ones who want to control you or manipulate you or whatever, and they're on the other side, jealousy or whatever. It is hard, but you have to press through and not just to be determined not to become like them.
Just open up Proverbs 31 and start motivating yourself like that little girl did in the mirror. Well, Bonnie Lee, you are also an editor, a fashion editor.
I am.
Fashion. We love fashion for Scorch Magazine.
I am. I'm their beauty editor and fitness contributor. Scorch is an amazing magazine. It's for full-figured women, and it promotes really amazing fashion and style for women of all shapes and sizes. And it really educates women on developing their own sense of style, understanding their bodies, and really being confident. I love it. It's an amazing magazine. It's just been a blessing to me. All of the writers are super professional, really well established, and they themselves have become really confident in themselves. So.
Well, you are also a fashion coach as well, and you have a fabulous segment with some ladies that are ready. Let's give them a round of applause. They get ready to go. And Brian, we want to cue the music. Let's give a hand of applause to Brian Youngblood. What do you got, Bonnie?
We have Haley coming in, and she's wearing accessories from Vivace Boutique in Pensacola. So if you're watching, if you mention Latitude, they will give you 10%. She's wearing a necklace, beaded necklace with a cross, a really super cute bracelet, and a designer handbag. You can wear this anywhere. It's super chic, and the bag fits everything. I tend to put everything in my bag. She has pink accents, as well as you can see her shirt brings out the gray accents in the bag.
Now, why did you choose this look for Haley?
Because, like I said, no matter where you're at, you may run into your future, admissions counselor for college or your future employer. So she can wear this anywhere. It's really comfortable. She's just wearing t-shirts and jeans, and she looks super cute, really fashionable, and it's something that you can throw on. It's really easy for everyday look. And she also has accessorizing, and she has that amazing ring with a cross that matches the necklace. And that's all from Vivace Boutique, and you can also find out information at Vivace
So
Boutique.
what would be some other styles that she could play with the same kind of theme, the jeans
Switching
and
out the
t-shirts?
t-shirts, a pink tank top underneath, the black. Also, really cute flip-flops. Florida, we all wear flip-flops here. So she can definitely still be looking her best, so that no matter where she goes or who she runs into, she's not caught in sweats and t-shirt.
Heaven forbid.
I've done it a time or two. And again, it's just something she can pull together really easily and still feel really confident in herself, so that no matter who she runs into.
And I love the bag. Thank you, Vivace. I've always asked it seems like the older I get, my purses have gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And growing up, my mom's had the big bags, and now I love the big bags. Do you ladies, you have big bags? You love the big bags.
Thank you. Thank you, Haley. Thank you. We now have Dana coming in, and Dana is actually an entrepreneur herself. She's super successful. She has a background in hair design, and she also has her own business. Now, she's wearing an outfit that I would love for people to notice, because you can wear it to a social networking event, and then you can hang out with the girls afterwards. She's wearing a beautiful pearl necklace with a flower to accentuate her dress, a little clutch bag, as well as the beaded bracelet, black. And she's wearing the pearl earrings to match her necklace. And if you turn around, she has a really chic back of her dress.
I like the
again,
lacy.
you're at a social networking event, you leave, and you can still go to hang out with your friends afterwards.
It's just a little bit in the back, but it's not too much.
Exactly, still professional, and it's also your own sense of style. For example, her pink shoes.
Yes, let's talk about the heels.
Those are
Love
actually
the color.
They're amazing shoes, and like I said, you can still be unique in your own sense of style. And again, you get noticed, and I would definitely notice Dana. And
So I love heels. It's success in heels. I mean, you've got to love heels. What woman does not love heels? Please let me know now. So with so many heels and character and style, a pair of pink shoes, pink heels like this, how would you, maybe you wouldn't want to pair it with something so bright? Or
never
would you?
anything bright. For example, she has a traditional classic black and white that you would wear. Everyone knows that they wear black, for interviews, or little black dress that we all have our LVDs. And you accentuate. You're really unique, again, in your own sense of style, feeling confident in yourself and wearing the pink heels. I've even seen animal print shoes with the black and white. So,
Nice. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, so you're still feminine. Even if you're in a room full of men, you're still there. You can shake their hand really strong, be yourself, but show off your great shoes. And accessories.
So what is this, something like this, a classy look like this, what does this say about a business?
That, again, you are unique. You want to stand out. You're in a room full of people. You want people to notice you. And I have gone to social networking events where we started off talking about the shoes, and it turned into
Great conversation.
Yeah. It turned into something so much
Did we
more.
do okay? Did I do okay? Let's take a look.
You did great. And again, it's just a unique look for yourself. And she just looks fantastic. Thank you, Dana. We now have Brittany, and Brittany just graduated from massage therapy school today, so yay!
Congratulations.
She will be licensed very soon. she has a beautiful beaded transparent necklace with the matching earrings, a really chic bag, and if you notice her bracelet, it's faux diamonds. And this is something you would wear for a job interview, you would wear for a professional meeting. For example, if you're meeting a client, you always want to look your best. It's unique, again, it's super classic. She's wearing a cardigan with a tank top and a black skirt, but she has really great black bag, as you can notice, from Vivace Boutique.
Fabulous.
It's super cute, show it off.
Fabulous.
And it has some silver designs on them. They are great.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And I love the soft pink with the ivory.
And for example, with a classic outfit like this, you want to make sure that you're wearing light accessories. So for example, her necklace does not overpower her outfit. Because you are still in a professional environment. You want to look your best, and you definitely want to go in there, again, being unique with her designer handbag, but also being classic professional so that you don't, your outfit is not overpowered by your accessories ever.
That's a good point.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. Well, as we close out talking about women in business, what advice would you give, just in closing and wrapping up, someone who says, I hear what you say, I've got this big dream, big vision, what do I do now?
Definitely believe and have faith. It is, you can achieve it, you can attain it. It's out there, and definitely educate yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean, having 2 master's degrees, but it definitely means understanding the business industry, taking a few classes, understanding your industry if you're going, into fashion, definitely going and getting that degree. Or for others, understanding a foundation so that you have something really strong to stand on. So that when you're in a meeting with someone, you can hold your own. You understand and you know exactly what you're talking about.
What would you say?
I would say take small steps because it can be overwhelming if you have this big dream and vision and you don't have any money and you don't have, you're just like, how can I do this? But it says to not despise the small beginnings. And so if you take step by step, just worry about what can I do today because eventually today will turn into your tomorrow just like it did for you. So we may be at our today, but you'll eventually turn into tomorrow. So.
And you made a good comment, take small steps, because if we don't take those steps and we keep pushing tomorrow off, it will never come. But just attack with a vengeance. And what would you leave young women who may be questioning their confidence?
I would say look inside yourself. You have to find out who you are, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of you, because it's the age-old saying, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter will never mind.
That's
Your
good.
support system is there for you. They're always going to be there for you if they love you, which
Thank you so
they do.
much, Chelsea, and
Absolutely.
good luck.
Thank you.
On your
Appreciate
pageant.
it.
Thank you so much to our panel, and thank you so much for our audience, and those of you watching by web stream. You've been watching Latitude, where we live, move, and have our being in Him. Thank you so much.